So Main Street started probably 3 years ago thinking about developing a master plan for the downtown Chestertown district. And that led to a couple of years of planning, and eventually we posted a request for proposals from consulting firms, and we hired DCI, Design Collective.
Out of Baltimore.
Yep. The RFQ went out in September of 2023. We got submissions from 12 firms, which we were very encouraged to receive. And we picked Design Collective out of Baltimore, and they started their work in February last year of 2024. And flash forward, we have a report. We call it our Phase 1 report. It's quite a read, 179 pages, but it's the result of a year of community engagement, workshops, creative brainstorming, focus groups, and we developed a vision for what we would like to see as the community's vision for the downtown district, and a selection of 40 potential projects. At this point, they're project concepts. They haven't been developed, but that's essentially what's in this report.
We have it online in a flip book format at mainstreetchestertown.org, and you can also download a PDF from there and print it out. We also have a hard copy if somebody wants to come into the visitor center and have a seat and just kind of read through it.
We had originally structured the entirety of the master plan program into 3 phases. Phase 1 being the vision and project concepts, recommendations for projects. Phase 2 would then pick up those projects and prioritize and sequence those. Think about which ones we can move forward, which ones we might want to do later. This is, after all, a 5, 10, or 15-year plan for the town. So those 40 projects might be spaced out over those full 15 years. Some of the projects may not ever be taken up and implemented. But that's the work now, starting Phase 2. But taking the selected projects and completing detailed schematic designs and engineering work to the point where they could be bid out to a contractor. Phase 2 is all of that design work up to and including having a final bid package ready to go to a contractor. Phase 3 then is taking selected projects from the end of Phase 2, bidding them out to a contractor, selecting the contractor, and implementing the project. Everything from the first shovelful of groundbreaking ceremony to the ribbon cutting ceremony at the completion of the project.
I think it's important to note that these 40 projects, or these 40 recommendations in this report, are pretty significant infrastructure projects for the most part. And so that's going to require, each one of them will require their own engineering and their own design throughout the course of the Phase 2 that we're calling it. So 40 projects, engineering, design for each one of those, and that's what Paul's talking about, the sequencing, the prioritizing. How does that all sync up with the town's capital projects priorities, right? And can we work together with the town, which we've done all along through this process, to say, these are the recommendations that came out of the master plan for downtown, and these are the capital projects that the town wants to complete. How do we work together to make sure that they're consistent with each other?
We're trying to dovetail that.
Right, because what we don't want to do is end up competing for funding. We want to partner for funding opportunities for a lot of these projects. Well, and 179 pages of recommendations, it really digs into the detail of what it would take to bury the wires. And improve the tree canopy as a result of burying the wires. And then what do we do with the sidewalks when we're burying those wires? And the relocation of parking to make the parking system more efficient and effective for the downtown businesses and for visitors alike. So yeah, it is pretty massive when you pull back and look at the whole report.
So the geographic scope of it is the historic district. That's the area that we looked at. And one thing we heard from the workshop, we got a lot of good feedback and comments that were integrated into the report. But one of the things we heard is the connectivity. We're a small town, but still, if you walk from the Garnett School down to the Washington College boathouse, does it feel like it's a holistic walk? Is it consistent? Do you have the same sense of security and the welcoming feel continues through that area?
Yeah, so while the projects in the report are very infrastructure focused, there's a whole nother layer that Main Street Chestertown sort of brings to it, and that's the softer part of it. It's the programming, it's the communications, it's the impact that these projects will have on the resident quality of life, and how it impacts not just the downtown, but the community overall. And the downtown experience, how does it enhance the downtown experience for visitors and residents and businesses?
In the end, we hope it elevates just the health and well-being of residents and visitors, anyone who spends time in downtown Chestertown. We hope it addresses the need for a more diverse environment downtown, one where people of all walks of life are going to feel welcome and invited to participate.
So from the very beginning, we've been working closely with the town on this project, and they helped fund a portion of the entire process and the cost of the consultants. But we also had a lot of input, community engagement along the way. Over the course of the entire year, we had an advisory board that kind of helped us work through the process and lead us through the process with their guidance and their advice. But the community also put a lot of effort into this through charrettes and focus groups. And so it's the community we want to say thank you to for this product, the town, the mayor, and our advisory panel as well.